Okay, I'm going to demonstrate how to build a winch for out of Lego Power Functions pieces, including the motor. Everything is pure Lego except for the string, obviously. And you can pretty much use any old string as long as you're able to somehow attach it between two of these pieces. My preferred method of attaching a string to wind it up is to use two of these pieces and put the string in between them and then push them together, and that'll sort of pinch the string. You gotta kind of do it in the right spot for it to actually hold it. I'm not sure how to describe it really. I guess I sort of found that out by trial and error, how to get it to work, so I can't exactly really explain it. So this is just a plain old string. You could probably find it at any hobby sewing shop in a roll or something. And strings of varying thicknesses should work as long as they fit between these things and they're strong enough to hold up whatever you're trying to hold up. So that brings us to the structural part of it. So you probably want your motor shaft to be about that long. That'll give you plenty of room for the winding drum in between these two Legos. And this is how I normally attach things to a motor. I just take two of these little pegs right here, stick them in the holes in the motor, and then have them on either side of the actual turning shaft, like so. Okay, and then I usually just take the gears and all that sort of stuff and just sort of go from there. I guess I just sort of figure out which types of gears work by trial and error. Okay, those will help keep the gears from like scooting off the shafts by mistake. Or remember, you don't want to put it too tight, because otherwise you'll cause unnecessary friction between the gears and the bricks or whatever thing you're putting out. The motor will sort of hold itself in place. It's kind of hard to turn it by hand, and I don't recommend doing that on a regular basis because it's hard to turn. I imagine it's not too good for the motor. You don't have to add any kind of a brake. The motor will sort of hold the winch in its current position whenever the motor's not running. So here's a big gear. This will provide enough gear reduction to lift up a relatively heavy thing. You know, Legos can only lift up so much before they start popping apart. This will provide enough gear reduction to lift up a relatively heavy weight, also slow it down enough that you actually are able to control it. And that leaves us with just the winding drum itself. And I gotta actually attach the string in between these pieces. Now that'd be kind of boring to watch because I can't really explain it. So I'm just gonna, instead of doing it by myself, I'm gonna do it by magic. Stand by, please. Alright, so I pretty much got it together now, and if I pull up the gear on the motor, I can turn it by hand. Whoops. Provided the gears don't slip off the shaft. Anyway, there we go. You can see it's turning. It obviously doesn't have any weight on it right now. So it got tangled up because there was nothing to pull it down. So anyway, if the weight remains relatively centered, then you don't have to worry about it getting tangled. However, it's not exactly structurally sound, so any reasonable amount of weight will start to bend this down. So we need to add a little bit of support. Whoops. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix that. Hold on a second. Okay, as you can see, I added some support between the two Legos, and I spread them out a little more, so that way it'll work now. Now I'm gonna go get some batteries. Alright, I now have a battery hooked up, and we can now turn on the power, and I can demonstrate that it works. See? Pulled the string right up. It's kind of wonky because there's no weight on it. So that's pretty much how you build a winch with Lego power functions pieces. And you can replace this motor with a Mindstorm's servo motor or a Lego XL motor. However, the Lego XL motor will turn slower and have more torque to begin with, so you probably won't need to use as much gear reduction. You can use this basic idea in a Lego crane, a Lego elevator, a Lego helicopter with a winch in it. Pretty much anything like that. So, that's about it.